Hey guys, Christopher Howard here. So this video this week is going to be about your takeaway. Now, I just got done with a golf school down in Dallas and I had a sellout. I had 5 players sitting there and every single one of their issues and their golf swing came from the first part of their takeaway. Now, I fixed every single one of their issues really quickly and really easily just by making a couple tweaks. And it is so common when I'm out on the road to see somebody who struggles with their golf swing putting themselves in that position right from the jump in the initial part of the takeaway. If you can solve your takeaway issues, you can generally put yourself in a position where you're going to have a pretty good golf swing and strike most of your shots solidly. Hey guys, if you're enjoying this video, please hit the like button. Make sure you leave a comment. If you got a golf swing question, I'll shoot a video for you. Please, please, please hit the subscribe button. I greatly appreciate each and every one of you who do that and helping us build this community. All right, so the first major issue I continuously see in golfers is where their arms come off their body and they roll the club head behind them. Now, that can be an absolute death move for any golfer. Once the arms lose sequence and connection to the chest and the club head starts getting behind us, we're going to be in a position where we have a lot of corrections happening up to the top of the backswing to put ourselves in a position that we have a chance to get back to the golf ball. A lot of times I see this move, whoop, and the player starts going here in the downswing. They get super cross, so they have to try and shallow. They do something weird coming down. Rarely do I see a player who makes that movement pattern have a nice smooth downswing into the golf ball. Now, if you're trying to fix that, the first feel that you want to have in your backswing is getting in a position where you feel that the chest is going to drive the turn. You're going to feel that your right shoulder is moving up and back. You're going to feel that there's no movement out of your wrist. And you want, most importantly, to leave the lead arm into the chest in the backswing. So never coming away, leaving everything connected. Then you're going to feel the vertical hinge and the lifting out of your arms and wrists to finish everything and get you to the top as you complete your turn. So make sure that lead arm stays connected and the wrists don't start throwing that club head behind you if you want a nice connected golf swing. All right, so the second major issue that I see in a golfer is the club face control. So a lot of players start extending that wrist going back. Even if they have connection here, that club face starts to get into a position where it's wide open. Now, when we turn back, we want to feel that the club face is slightly curled down towards the ground. Now, if you think about it, when I get into impact and I start getting my hands forward, I'm going to need some of that curl down to offset the forward shaft lean that I'm trying to get if I want more compression and a solid strike every time. So make sure that that club face is an opening. Now, there are players who also struggle with getting in here and rolling that face too shut. Now, a lot of times I see the golfer who gets that face too shut coming back, getting in here, having to tilt and throw their hands through impact in order to get back into a position where they have a chance to make a solid strike. So make sure you have the toe slightly curled down going back. A good checkpoint is that it matches your spine angle right here. Now, from there, you're going to want to feel that everything keeps setting as you turn up to the top. That's going to put you in a position where you're not out of control with your club face in your backswing. And if you could keep it controlled, you take one major variable that could create a whole bunch of compensations in your golf swing out of play. So the third major issue that I see when it comes to the backswing is no body movement at all. The player gets in here and they just lock and try and bring their hands up. They get no depth at the top. They get no load in their backswing and they struggle to create speed in their golf swing. One of the big keys is really feeling as though your trail hip is opening, okay? If your trail leg is extending slightly, the hip is opening, your pelvis is moving, that's gonna put you in a position where it's gonna be easy to get the chest to turn back a full 90 degrees. The more your chest turns, the more length and the more width you're going to be able to have in your backswing. If you could get yourself in a position where you have that width and that turn, you're going to really be able to use the ground to create speed. You're going to really be able to control the shaft in the downswing, and put yourself in a good position to make a good clean strike every single time. So if you guys can learn to get rid of that nasty forearm roll where the hands move away, you lose all your connection in the backswing, and you can get yourself in a position where the club face is always dynamic and controlled. You never want to start seeing that club face opening and closing in the backswing. Plus, you can learn how to get a good big load in your chest. Really crank your body, get that depth, get that width. You are going to be in a position where you can make the downswing that you want to every time in order to get pure speed, power, and consistency in your strike. If you enjoyed this video, guys, I hope to see you next week.